Welcome back to Velo News TV here at the Garmin-Chipotle team camp. I'm with Lucas Euser. Lucas, I was about to try to guess how many years you've been a part of this team. Obviously 2008, 2007.
Yeah, 2006 with
Aircraft.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And before the camera was started, we were talking about your 08 season, which I think the win in the rain and the wind at Univest had to be at least one of the highlights.
It was a major highlight. It was the culmination of my second half of the season just coming to fruition and just coming and having my training and my focus just finally coming and paying off and winning and just being really proud of what I had done, what I had accomplished, and what the team had done, and just it felt really good. And I had never won a professional race.
That's right, first pro race.
It kind of marked my new coming of my new professional self, you know, and I feel like from then on and next season I'm gonna be a different rider.
And 2008 was not your first season racing in Europe, but like you said, it was your first full season.
First complete season, I would say, in Europe, yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that you had, just before the camera was rolling, you said you've been asking Jonathan Vaughters, give me a full season in Europe, then you finally got it, and it was tough, it was hard. It ended, first half of the season ended with an injury, but you said I don't want to take the words from you, but you said you've emerged as a different rider. Talk about
100%.
First half, second half.
I mean, first half was kind of similar to the last few years. I mean, I was getting beaten down, you know, and it was hard, but I'd actually never done it in the first half of the season. It'd always just kind of come towards the second half of the season. So I'd get beaten down and kind of go into the off season a wreck, you know. And this time I came I started in February, just getting beat down from Valencia all the way until doing races in Portugal and whatnot, and it just you know, I came out of Pyrenees with like 3 weeks of bronchitis, and I missed Castilla y León, and it was that then turned into bad preparation for Catalonia, and then Catalonia bad preparation there, bad race there, that turned into motivation to try to do something at GP Correos in Portugal, and then Route du Sud where Dan won, but unfortunately the first stage at GP Correos I crashed. Got tangled up with the medical car, got slammed to the ground, and
kind of an irony there,
a little bit ironic.
The medical car.
Yeah. Apparently they're the worst drivers in the caravan. But got tangled up with them, busted my scapula, hit my head pretty hard, and was pretty messed up for the next 3 weeks. I actually didn't know I broke my scapula until about 6 days later. Whereas the Portuguese hospital was telling me to use it and to stretch it and do as much as I could. So, bearing our pain tolerance, I was doing as much as I could, which was quite a bit, and probably shouldn't have been doing that, but nonetheless, the healing took place, and I came back a stronger person from that.
After a full season in Europe, seeing all different kinds of races, what are the races that you're most interested in sort of catering to your strengths and abilities, and how does that jive with what the team has projected for you for next year?
Well, so I carry the form from Portugal into US Pro and Univest, which are one-day races. I mean, you saw I had pretty damn good races there. I mean, US Pro, like, in the first move, and in every move after that, and in the final move. You know? And
that was amazing.
It was just a tactical. I'm not gonna say it was a tactical decision that didn't put me in that final two. You know, or any you know, it was Blake that landed up there. It could have been any one of us.
But it's not often you see a guy out in the move all day that ends up in the that select group at the end as well.
And that's the experience paying off, you know, and that's the beat down, getting turned around and just making me a tough professional. You know, it's like that. My mentality wasn't to get in the early break to get on TV and to get on Velo News. You know, it was to get in that early break to be a factor at the end of the race, because if we can play the race if we can be ahead of the game at all times, like, we're never behind. As long as we're ahead, we're good to go. And so you saw that's exactly where we were.
So you're talking about one-day races.
So I'm talking about one-day races, and you know, I kind of found a little bit of a liking to them. I'm not going to say I'm going to be a classics rider by any means, but I feel like I can be the type of one-day guy that does good in like races like Flesh and Liège, and can still pull something out in a long stage race. You know, I mean, look at guys like, you know, I mean, the Schlucks do great at those races. DeLuca does great at those races. Kunago, you know, like that type of rider who can do a one day just as good as he can do in a stage of a Grand Tour, and possibly an overall in a Grand Tour as well.
So what have you met with the guys?
Next year we're kind of focusing. We're doing a big build for Flesh and Liège.
Nice.
So I'm really excited for that. We're gonna kind of take it easy at the beginning, and we're gonna build up to País Vasco, which is
heard it's tough.
Undoubtedly the hardest race in the world.
The Spanish guys.
Ask anybody in the pro peloton. It has and probably will be the hardest race from here on, just because the Basque country is just extremely motivational, I guess, for Spanish cyclists, because it's a huge area where cycling's popular. So they come out in full force for that race, and
some guys base their whole season on that race.
Exactly.
Basque guys.
So you make it through País Vasco, and you make it through there well. You're going to come out and do great at the Ardennes. So that's the goal. I know it's a big goal to set, but I feel like I've accomplished something I've never done before in this sport, and I'm ready to take it to the next level. So after that, I'm also going to hit the Romandy. That's always been a good race that I like to see. I'm going to hit the Dauphiné, cool. get a good chance in France, and see what can happen. And just right there, that's just going to be being a great teammate. That's what that's all about. And this season is going to be a fine balance of that. There's going to be races where I'm going into where there's not a designated team leader that could be wide open, and then I'm going to go into races where there's definite team leaders, and I'm going to have to be a good teammate, and that's where I feel like I excel is doing both of those, is being able to call shots out on the road when there's not a team leader, and be smart and race smart, and like Univest, there wasn't a designated team leader, but we knew anybody could win, and so that's what we needed to do there. And
it's got to be a good feeling.
It's a really good feeling.
Having several guys on the team that can win a race.
Yeah, but then again, it's an even better feeling, like going to a race and knowing you're going to be a team leader and doing a damn good job, a teammate and doing a damn good job at it,
Yeah.
So I do that, and then do Tour of Austria, which is a great race as well, and then the Grand Tour for me next year is doing the Volta. So, we talked, and I felt like that would be a better first Grand Tour to do. You look at the transfers in the Giro, and they're just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really wears down on a first-time Grand Tour rider. And obviously a tour is kind of, that's our main focus for the year. So having a team time trial in the Giro and in France doesn't bode well for me either. So we're looking at the Volta, which is, for me, a great race. I love Spain. I love living in Girona. I'm learning the culture. I'm learning the language. I'm having a great time there. So I'd love to keep it in Spain. So.
Well, Lucas Euser, going into 2009 with a full European program in your legs.
Yep.
First professional pro win in your legs.
That's right.
Thanks for the time. Good luck next year.
Thanks, dude.
All right.
Appreciate it.